Deploy. Deploy means to install and activate a software or system in its live operating environment. You say deploy when you are releasing a new application version or pushing a system update. For example, you could say, we need to deploy the new feature by next week. Integrate. Integrate means to combine various systems or components to work together seamlessly. You say integrate when you are connecting different software applications or merging hardware systems. For example, you could say, we need to integrate the new payment system with our existing e-commerce platform. Optimize. Optimize means to improve the performance or efficiency of a system or code. You say optimize when you are enhancing load times, reducing resource usage, or speeding up processes. For example, you could say, the team is working to optimize the database query performance. Debug. Debug means to identify and correct errors, bugs, within software code. You say debug when you are troubleshooting issues during development or after a system crash. For example, it took us all night to debug the critical error in the production environment. Troubleshoot. Troubleshoot means to diagnose and resolve problems in systems or networks. You say troubleshoot when you are fixing connectivity issues, software malfunctions, or hardware failures. For example, can you help me troubleshoot why my internet connection is so slow?
Scalability. Scalability means the ability of a system to handle a growing amount of work or its potential to be enlarged to accommodate that growth. You say scalability when you are designing systems that can grow with increasing user demand or data. For example, you could say, cloud computing offers excellent scalability for growing businesses. Framework. Framework means a basic structure or set of guidelines and tools that provides a foundation for software development. You say framework when you are choosing a specific set of tools and libraries for building an application. For example, you could say, we decided to use a modern web framework for the new project. API. API means Application Programming Interface, which is a set of definitions and protocols for building and integrating application software. You say API when you are allowing different software applications to communicate with each other. For example, you could say, this service provides a powerful API for developers to access its features. Protocol. Protocol means a set of rules and procedures for communicating data between computing systems. You say protocol when you are defining how data is sent and received over a network. For example, you could say HTTP is the protocol used for transferring hypermedia documents on the web. Repository. Repository means a central location for storing and managing code or files, often used in version control systems. You say repository when you are storing and tracking changes to source code files. For example, you could say, please commit your changes to the main repository after testing.
Migration. Migration means the process of moving data, systems, or applications from one environment to another. You say migration when you are upgrading to a new server, database, or cloud platform. For example, you could say, the migration of old data to the new server was successful. Virtualization. Virtualization means technology that allows one physical machine to run multiple virtual instances of operating systems or applications. You say virtualization when you are consolidating servers or creating isolated testing environments. For example, you could say, server virtualization helps reduce hardware costs and improve resource utilization. Bandwidth. Bandwidth means the maximum amount of data that can be transmitted over a network connection in a given amount of time. You say bandwidth when you are assessing network capacity for data transfer or internet speed. For example, you could say, we need more bandwidth to support the increased user traffic. Latency.
Latency means the time delay between a request being initiated and a response being received. You say latency when you are measuring the responsiveness of a network connection or system. For example, you could say, high latency can significantly impact the user experience in online gaming. Redundancy. Redundancy means the duplication of critical components or functions of a system with the intention of increasing reliability and availability. You say redundancy when you are designing systems to prevent single points of failure. For example, you could say, we implemented data redundancy to prevent data loss in case of a single point of failure.
Encryption. Encryption means the process of converting data into a code to prevent unauthorized access. You say encryption when you are securing sensitive information during transmission or storage. For example, you could say, all sensitive data is protected through strong encryption. Authentication. Authentication means the process of verifying the identity of a user or system. You say authentication when you are logging into a website or accessing a secure network. For example, you could say, two-factor authentication adds an extra layer of security to your account. Authorization. Authorization means the process of granting or denying access rights to specific resources or functions to an authenticated user. You say authorization when you are determining what a user is allowed to do after they've logged in. For example, you could say, the system handles user authorization based on their roles. Log. Log means a file that records all events and activities that occur within a system or application. You say log when you are investigating system errors, security incidents, or user activity. For example, you could say, check the server logs to find out what caused the error. Patch. Patch means a small piece of software designed to update a computer program or its supporting data to fix or improve it. You say patch when you are applying updates to fix bugs, improve security, or add minor features. For example, you could say, please install the latest security patch as soon as possible.